Hey, how is everyone?
Hey, Marisa.
Hey,
Hello.
how's it
Hello. Awesome.
going? Fantastic. Well, I'm going to mute the line just to stop the outside noise. But if you want to say anything, feel free to unmute and mute yourself. Thanks for recording. Anyway, next level, you are chicken. We get to get together and go deep on your customer journey, your offers, all of that. Play a bunch of games, do some extra activities and stuff too. That's going to bring us closer together because Message to My Live is incredible, and it's like 350 people, and we are going to be less than 40 together in a room. So that's super good, and just a really high turnout for the next level. So we are very excited. Um, Planning and getting ready. So hopefully you're gonna all be excited too to bring it. Let me go ahead and share my screen for what we got going on. Well, before I do that, is there anyone who wants to share either a breakthrough or a challenge on the 5% in 90-day challenge that you're having? Because I'm noticing it's a big emphasis that we have right now to get you into the actions that might feel uncomfortable right at the beginning of the program, because once the money is behind whatever it is that is uncomfortable and that you're resisting a lot of times. And I notice sometimes that if we don't do it right up front, some students will wait till the very end of the program or not at all to do those 5% actions that feel challenging and feel tricky. And so once you do them, you realize they're not so bad. But does anyone have any shares related to that before we dive into XYZ statements?
I'll share.
Great.
Well, the timing was just so great because I just came out of EPM, and so I was already on the EPM timeline. I ran my EPM program, and then right when you set up that 5% challenge, I was already getting my next sorry, my dog's going off now.
Okay.
I was already creating and offering my next experience program.
Yeah.
So it was just such a natural fit. And I do want to say the mission statement for me was help me get so much clarity, and I'm going to mute now.
Sure. The product mission it's a big one. That's a huge part of having a product is just understanding what is the core promise or transformation that you're going to deliver that allows people to, what are they going to do or feel or have or overcome or achieve through your program. Very good. Yeah, Abby and Judy are neck and neck, getting close to $40,000 each so far since the beginning of the program for our Sales Superhero Award. And we will be sending out some email later this week to nominate the Tribe Superhero, the best community member or the one who's made the biggest difference for you so far, the Sales Superhero, who's ever has made the most money in the program so far. And you've got two more chances to win at each of the retreats as well. So don't worry. And Action Superhero, whoever's got the most XPs, taking the most action. And the Fail Forward Superhero, whoever's made the biggest fuck up that they learned from. Because it's important to normalize failure as part of this. Like when you take big actions, you also may have some things that don't go the way that you planned. So we've got a Fail Forward award as well. And those are the 4 awards that we give out. So watch out for that. And make sure you let us know what's going on with you so you can qualify for one of these things. And the Tribe Superhero ends up being a vote, so the community as well. All right, any other shares about the 5% in 90 days challenge before we jump in? Natasha.
Go ahead.
I'll quickly share. I found it interesting. I'm trying really hard to be in action and stay in action, and I'm being pulled in like 50 billion different directions. So I have been, every time I'm noticing like I'm not posting on the Monday because I'm not really even sure what day it is. But I'm trying to kind of consciously know that I haven't done that and then making something move in my business. So I know that I am resisting, I'm resisting putting numbers to things, and I know that I'm having issue with the value that I offer. So, and little things like selling my bike, I've been meaning to do that since I fell off it in September. And And I just didn't feel like it had any value. I literally, like, I could have probably charged another $500 the amount of people that came in. So just keeping on moving and keeping on remembering that I'm like seeing the things and then making progress somewhere has been important and good. So I am enjoying the 5% because it reminds me to keep moving. But I'm probably not doing particularly well with it.
Well, the well is a value judgment. And a lot of times too, we've got this 3-month period for the 5% in 90 days. So sometimes there's foundational work that has to happen before you get into the cashing in and the return on the work. So there might be clarity challenge missions that you're involved with right now, and you need to do the clarity mission before you can do the money mission and things like that. But just the thing to watch out for is a lot of times, it's easy to get trapped in the perfectionist wheel where you're in the clarity mission for 12 months or 2 years or whatever it happens to be, and never really getting to the money mission or some of these other missions that's actually where your business grows the most. I was having lunch, Murray and I had lunch with the founder of Expedia yesterday. And he was telling us, really the trick is in shortening the time from idea to first dollar. Like the key to success is how can you make that time frame from idea to first dollar as short as possible. And that's kind of really what we're going to be talking about at the retreat. But so often you can prep and prep and prep and prep. And a lot of times when you prep too much, you've missed the market opportunity, or whatever you've been developing is no longer relevant by the time you offer it. It's the reason I left documentary film. It would take 3 to 5 years to make a film. And by the time the film was done, it's like the world had moved on and I had moved on and the market had moved on. And I just created 3 to 5 years of something that no one saw that was no longer relevant. So yeah. Alrighty. I thought there was someone else who wanted to say something. Yes, I see Tiffany and I see Natalie. So Tiffany, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm challenging myself now with actually even doing this challenge because I was feeling that it wasn't holistically relevant with what I had currently going on, but hearing what Natasha just shared, it's also what I actually wrote, but I hadn't put in the Facebook yet, is about, I have a workshop coming up next month. And the goal is to not just to fill all the seats, but actually create a waiting list so that the demand is there for the next time I do it. So those are hits. And I was thinking of it probably wrongly only about money. And it's just about getting over hurdles. So,
yeah.
But I think it's both.
It is primarily about getting over hurdles in terms of what are the things that you're resisting doing that will actually grow your business, and knowing that it takes 50% of the, F-15's fuel just to get into the air. But it also is about not waiting too long before you monetize whatever ideas you're working on. So with the workshop, you are building that waiting list, but could you go beyond and actually get people to pre-register? Like it's one of those things. Yeah, go ahead.
That is happening. And right. So all of that is building, but I've needed a team and I don't have a team yet. They're starting to shape up, but I work until 4 a.m. and I'm just trying to do it all. And also I'm in that sort of deliverable pain point because I'm a clinician and a researcher. Yeah. And so having to balance both of these worlds with deadlines due now for both. So it's just where I was feeling like I was not finding relevancy, but I'm figuring out how it does. So I appreciate the shares here.
So it's actually really about making commitments and also prioritizing the things that will move the business forward, and not just the endless seeking of clarity. You know what I mean? Where you need, that still has to be part of it. But it's like, if it can go on and then at some point you're like, okay, I'm clear enough. Clarity is emergent. It's not a switch. And I think so many people think it's a switch. It's like binary. It's you're either clear or you're not, but it's more of a dimmer. You know what I mean? A light that's on a dimmer. So knowing that once you've got a little bit of light, it's enough to get out there and start, making money and talking to people and all of that. So, but it's very, very tempting to be in endless business development around something as well. Cool. We're just getting a few debriefs for those of you who are just joining on the 5% and 90-day challenges people have had, breakthroughs they've had as well, because we were getting into action. So Natalie's got something, and then Anne-Marie, and then we'll jump into the XYZ statements after. And I think Abby has a clarifying thing too. So Natalie, go ahead. And by the way, I can't necessarily see every single person on my screen. So if it's limited to 25 spots, and there's, I think, I might not be able to see everyone. So just so you know. Alrighty, go ahead, Natalie.
Yeah, so the thing that I'm actually most pleased about is what you said the Expedia guy said. It's the shortening the gap because, so I'm doing the 5-day challenge. Okay, I've never done a 5-day challenge before. You know, I could have put it off a lot longer to get it perfect and create all the trainings before I did it. But I'm just proud of myself that I just jumped in and did it. And I'm noticing that my mindset is much more, this is an experiment. I'm going to see how it goes. Whatever happens is going to be great, and I'm going to learn from it. You know, it's like the whole iterate your way to awesome. And the other thing that I've done since mentorship started is that I started 2 meetups. The first one I started is all on business marketing. It's called the Spiritual Women's Sisterhood. Is that what Spiritual Business Sisterhood is what it's called. And so I had a certain amount of, you know, I've had 2 meetups. I had about 8 people come to it. But I had the inspiration the other day because, you know, I do both marketing and Mojo. I had the inspiration of creating one that was just for Mojo. So I created the Manifestation Mastery for Women Entrepreneurs. And it immediately filled up so much faster with people RSVPing for the thing. And so, like, oh, that was a very good learning because those people are going to be in my niche too.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy that I'm into action taking mode.
Totally. It's really good to be in action taking mode for sure. And I love what you said about seeing it as an experiment and really being, I always say, the scientist in the experiment lab of your business. And I think sometimes it's easy to kind of build up so much to something versus just doing it and getting out of the way and seeing what worked well, do differently. Okay, that worked well, I do this differently. That worked well, I do this differently. You know, and then being a little bit more neutral and allowing for things to basically to get the response and the feedback from the audience like you did, right?
But one of the keys is that I had to let go of this sense that the results of my work is proof of whether I'm a good person or not. I had to totally let go of that. It's like, hey, I'm just doing the best I can here in life. This has nothing to do with whether I'm worthy, good enough, any of that stuff. So it definitely feels like a personal growth step.
Yep, absolutely. And that's, I always say you are not your business. Your business is a reflection of you. It passes through you, but it's not an indicator of your own worth or value or anything else. And when you think it is, it's challenging. It'll be challenging for sure. Cool. All right. So Marie, did you have a share related to the 5% challenge, or is this about you wanting to do your XYZ?
Yeah. No, I just had a quick share about the 5% challenge. I just wanted to clarify. It's $2,500 a month or 5,000 by June. Like I'm still a little fuzzy on the exact.
It's $2,000 a month or $5,000 within 3 months,
okay.
More. Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well, today I'm at 4,300 or 4,500 or somewhere in there, so I'm close.
Yes.
And I want to celebrate. I just want to celebrate quickly, like since deciding to focus again on one-on-one clients versus I was going to create several courses over the summer and do some short courses, and I've just totally ditched that, and I'm just doing one-on-one. I feel such a sense of relief, first of all. Second of all, people are starting to schedule clarity sessions just from hearing me speak on a podcast or being on my list, or like the thing that's never happened before, which is someone I've never met before scheduling a call, is starting to happen, and it's amazing. And I signed one client already from that. The minute I saw her, I was like, oh, she's my people. Like, she's my ideal client. I didn't know before I got on the phone with her, Zoom with her, whether or not that would be the case. And so something is beginning to transmit that's right. And I'm just excited to keep refining and clarifying how I talk about it so that happens even more effortlessly.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, for sure. It's really the case. And it's so funny. After delivering Mastery last year, and some of my Mastery students are here, Isabel, I see Monica here as well, is that I had a recognition that not a lot of people are designed for the list build business model. Essentially, you can skip from Late Call Me into authority, by the way, but the list build model of having a lot of product lines and a lot of marketing and things like that, it's not something that everybody really loves to do. Like in Late Call Me, you can leverage into groups, and then you can ultimately go to the authority level where you're using, say, talking to really grow. But using pure internet marketing, for example, with Facebook ads and funnels, it's a tricky thing to figure out. It requires a lot of concurrent skill sets that not everybody has. It feels like they're fighting against themselves to develop those skill sets. Now, it's an incredible model when you get it dialed in, but it's not the easiest, and it requires building a whole machine around you and really growing a team, and it's stuff that not everybody wants to do. And the simplicity of working with someone one-on-one. I had one of our mastery students actually dialed in list build and then went back to one-on-one in small groups, and has all this free time and she's making several $100,000. She doesn't have the overhead of the list build model, and she's really happy. And I think she'll ultimately want to go there again, but she was in the middle of a divorce, so part of it was personal. But to not always feel pressure to do a certain business model because other people are doing it, or it's the model that you see people being successful. And it's one of the reasons we teach mentorship the way that we do, is not to assume that everybody wants to be me, right? Because that's not like, it's a lot of work to build the kind of business that I have. And many people want the business that I have, but when they really look and are honest with themselves, they don't want to do what I do every day to have the business that I have. Right? And so it's easy to want something, but the question is, are you going to be happy with the lifestyle and the everyday to get that? And there is a certain point where you can hire enough team where you're over the hump of all of that, but it's important to realize that, as well. And I see a lot of great feedback too. So, and yeah, like what you can do is having a podcast into a small funnel, like a free consultation funnel. I know several people who have late call me businesses who are doing that, and they're getting their lead generation or they're prospecting from things like podcasts, but you use somebody else's podcast where they've done the work to build the audience. And then, you might just get 1 or 2 clients from that. But if you did a podcast twice a month and you got 1 client from each one, that can do so much for you. And it's a lot simpler. It's one other thing, and I don't want to take all the time on this, but one of our, he went through mentorship 2 times. Richard Zaltner told me he's building what he calls a digital duchy, and he's a very quirky guy. So a duchy is like the Duchy of Luxembourg, where it's basically built on a single castle or palace, right? And Luxembourg was the largest duchy of all times. So he considered it building a digital duchy where he didn't want to build his own audience. He wanted to have a business he could put the pause button on. He could do these small groups. He would fill up 4 of them a year, and he didn't want to build funnels. He didn't want to build an email list. And like, what's the way I can build this digital duchy? And so I talked to him about guest blogging and podcasting and, doing a Facebook group and kind of avoiding some of the harder core internet marketing stuff that he just didn't want to do. And he could still have a very good business making several $100,000s a year without a lot of overhead, without a lot of team, with a lot of lifestyle, and do that. And it's important to know what it is that you're building and to design for that. So I hear you all are loving this conversation. All right, well, it's a little bit different from what I wanted to start, but I did want to give a little time to presence what's happening with the challenge, because some of this stuff might be coming up, and some of these breakthroughs as you realize what are the actual next steps that are going to build the business that you want to build in the way that you want to build it, that might be slightly outside of your comfort zone, but not necessarily completely against your grain, if that makes sense. And the way we do mentorship and the different missions is you're choosing missions, and you may be in a mission and you're like, man, I don't think I want to do this mission anymore because it's really against my grain. Like, no worries, you have 24 missions to choose from, and many of them have multiple different ways to get to an outcome. I might give you 5 different approaches for lead generation or more, right? And you choose ones that suit you. Okay. So Abby had a clarifying, and then I'm going to go into XYZ.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was hard to think when my dog is going into the red zone outside. Yeah. I think that what I want to say about this 5% that's really helped me is I have not really had that much of a problem getting into action in the past. My problem has been staying in action.
Yeah.
And so I'd go through long periods of time where I couldn't then, sustain it or gain momentum.
Totally.
So this is really helping me with that.
Well, Thank you. Simply the structure, even if you kept the overall structure of declaring your biggest commitment for a week, whether it's 1 commitment, 2 or 3, and then at the end, looking back to say, did I complete this? Did I not complete this? Is really huge, because it kind of forces you to figure out, well, what is really important this week? Because there's all these things that I can do, but if I only accomplished 1 or 2 or 3 things, what would I want those 1 or 2 or 3 things to do? Because otherwise you could be there's a difference between activity and results. It's also the focus on results generating work versus activity for the sake of activity, because there's a lot of activity you can do that won't actually grow your business very quickly. Even though it's helpful, it's nice to have, but it's not the shortest, most direct line to, to revenue, to clarity, to whatever it happens to be. Yeah,
Thanks.
Sure. Okay, so I'm going to just show a couple slides about the XYZ statement, then go right into workshopping. It's super short because there's not much to learn, and I think you all already know the format overall. I'm actually might be rebranding this XYZ statement to the ooh, tell me more formula. Or no, the ooh, tell me more template, because that's ultimately the result that people will have. So it's simply, I help X do Y so that Z. It's a very universal format that simply knowing what to say. It's funny because it's so foundational, and yet so few people have a clear, crisp, short, concise, powerful answer to that they feel comfortable telling anyone and know they're going to get a response. Where you can see when someone glazes over or they lean in and with curiosity and interest, and you want to make sure you're not having people glaze over. And like I always would say, is that the tendency people have is to give them A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z statement instead, where you share way too much before people are ready to hear all that much. So it's really just the X, Y, Z part. And you can always have more conversations. You don't need to say everything in the very first thing that you say. And a lot of people, we're so excited about our business that we want people to know everything, right? And the rabbit hole always goes deeper. This is just, getting people to fall down the hole to begin with, is the entranceway. All right, so it's pretty simple. Y is a specific kind of person you serve, your ideal clients. I help, actually it should be X is the specific kind of person you help. And the criteria for this in our 7-step profitable niche checklist is that your business idea is targeted at a specific kind of person. And we can call this person your ideal client. And ideally, this person self-identifies with the way you describe them. My friend Justin Livingston calls this an egoic label. So if you call people, wantrepreneurs, and no one identifies with being a wantrepreneur, then, it's not a good egoic label. If you call someone a mission-driven entrepreneur and they don't really know what that means, it's not a good egoic label. If you call someone a holistic, like an acupuncturist or holistic healer, they know exactly what that is. So it's got to be a term that you're using where you're not trying to be creative in the term necessarily. You can use, create curiosity. I often say I turn entrepreneurs into online superheroes so they can change the world from their living room. And it's more of a curiosity-based statement, but I need to be able to back that one up. So the why is you're thinking about it as some kind of egoic label. Even if it's not a label, it's a short description, where immediately the person who that egoic label or short description relates to says, check, that's me. You know what I mean? They can instantly self-identify with that. Or, nope, that's not me, but it's this person over here that I know. And ideally, they get a clear mental picture of who that person is. So you want to make sure your description is something they can relate to. And that's important. It's not the way you describe them, it's the way they would identify for themselves. And why relates to what you actually do for the person you serve, the problem you solve, the solution you offer, or the outcome you deliver, right? So it's what you actually do for them. And it might be an outcome, it might be a problem, it might be a solution, it could be any of them. I help holistic entrepreneurs finally figure out how to make a consistent income, that they can rely on, right? For example, would be kind of a outcome, but it's got a little bit of a problem mixed into the outcome, right? I help real estate agents, and just could be making up a lot of different things. I help people in transition, and an outcome could be define their exact next step so they can move forward with ease and let go of all their past challenges. And that's not even that specific, but it's what it is that you're helping them do. And the criteria is that your business must solve a very specific and acknowledged market need, whether, like I said, it's solving a specific problem, or delivering a specific outcome. And the key here is to choose a need, problem, and outcome that people already know they have, and not a hidden need, problem, or outcome, which is something that you think they need, but they're not necessarily identifying as a want or desire right now. It's got to be something that they already know and recognize as a challenge, because it's hard to sell people on a challenge they don't believe they have. And the more specific you can be about the problem, the solution, the outcome, the more likely they are to respond to it. All right, and Z relates to the ultimate benefit or transformation that results from doing Y, or what your business, product, or service allows someone to do, be, feel, or have, or achieve. It's the so what factor. Basically, you want to kind of let people know what you do, who you do it for, and why that matters, why they should listen, because how is it going to relate to them in their actual life? What's the transformation? So, the holistic healer example I gave you, if they finally make consistent income so they can stop worry about keeping the lights on and be the light they're meant to be in the world, whatever it happens to be, right? So you get specific about that. And, the criteria here is that you've got to be able to identify a specific person who needs that particular problem solved. And when you describe the specific need you address and the kind of problem you solve for that person, the problem you're talking to should get a clear picture of someone specific in their mind who needs the solution you provide. So it's ultimately, I help your ideal client do the problem, solve, the solution offered, the outcome delivered, or combination, so that they can receive this ultimate benefit or transformation in their lives. And keep in mind that your ideal client your XYZ statement does not have to work for everyone. It's meant to work for your ideal client or lead to referrals to your ideal client, okay? So basically, it's when you work with me, you're gonna get this result. And the reason why this matters is this. So knowing that when people ask you what you do, they're really asking, what can you do for me? And you wanna avoid answering what you do with the label, something that they just label you and put it in a box. So if you just say, I'm a doctor, I'm an acupuncturist, it's like, whatevs, they've heard it before. But when you say something specifically, I help athletes. I help athletes with chronic injuries. I help athletes overcome chronic injuries through acupuncture so they can get back on the court and do the sport they were designed for, right? It's a lot more specific than just say I'm an acupuncturist. Can you see the difference? And so many people fall back on that generic title. And I find myself sometimes when someone's asking me a question and I don't think they're my ideal client, or I just don't feel like talking about my business, I might give like the BS answer, I have a business training company, right? And nobody cares about my business training company. And it's so easy to get lazy in the moment because you think the interaction doesn't matter. But the practice is always assuming like you have no idea who you're talking about to and who they know and what their needs are, to always pull out the best version of your statement, because you'll be amazed by, just through living the chatterbox lifestyle, the relationships you have, like Marie said, the clarity sessions that are coming out of the closet with people she never met before by just being this and expressing this and never taking that question for granted. And of course, this kind of statement works online and other kinds of marketing once you really clarify it. So the challenge here is to distill this down to what I call the atomic level of communication. So you have 2 molecules of hydrogen and 1 molecule of oxygen. If you add barium in there, it's not water, right? You can't add something else. You can't take away a molecule of hydrogen and still have it be water. It's like every word counts and every word is lifting some weight there. You get down to the essentials. You don't say any more than you need to say. And you just create enough curiosity and resonance that people might start asking you questions about what you do. So I know many of you have already worked on your XYZ statement. So I'm not gonna, is that correct? Has everyone already worked on this? Yeah, I'm gonna go straight into workshopping. So if you wanna work on your XYZ statement while I'm workshopping somebody else, go ahead and just like mute everybody and kind of have your focus time, but I'm gonna just get into the workshopping because I know a lot of you are ready for it. And then ultimately, once you have this, you want to practice this everywhere you go until you're consistently getting a positive response. Okay, so I'm going to leave the actual formula up here for those of you who are, wanted some time to work on it. And I first wanted to work with anybody who was not on my last messaging call in March, where we worked on your audience statement. So that's a key piece. The audience statement we did before might inform this particular XYZ statement. So I can, make sure I'm getting some different people as well. So is there anyone on the line who just did not get support last time around?
Marisa, just a real quick question, Tiffany here. Where does that call live when you were doing the audience statement? Because you actually went longer that day. Thank you very much for doing that. But I was trying to go back and listen to it. Where did it go? Because I didn't see it in the Facebook.
I'm pretty sure it's on the membership site. So
does it go in the vault?
No, it goes into like coaching, basically. There's a section where all the workshops are.
You're aware that the coaching site still has Lossum, Ipsum, it's all just Latin gibberish?
I don't know like what's been released and what hasn't been released, but has anybody else been able to find the replay for this or no?
For
no?
audience?
Yes, it's there. It is there.
Okay.
It is.
So where would it's under workshops or something or replay?
Replays.
Yeah,
replays. Okay, thank you, Dee.
Okay. So, okay, great. So it is definitely there. We're actually redesigning the whole thing because the design's just ugly, in my opinion. So, so it's going to be prettier soon. It's the beta version of the site because honestly, to do a membership site that allowed for the mission functionality and everyone's custom missions was intense piece of technology. So thank you for your patience on that. It was we wanted to get that functionality done before we worried about anything else, because that's like the core thing to drive the concierge mentorship. All right, so who wants to go first? Let's see.
Is this a volunteer?
Yeah, this is a volunteer, and I want to, so it looks like a lot of people are ready, and
we have people already wrote their questions on.
Yep, and everyone who's looks like they're going, there's no one from, who didn't go last time that wants to go by the looks of this, so I'll just go in order. Ray and Dee. So Ray and Dee was saying, can you explain the difference between an XYZ statement and the audience statement? So the audience statement just describes the audience. The XYZ statement, that's only the Y, the X elements. And then you also have what you do for that audience and why it matters. And your audience statement may just be put into the XYZ statement as one of those three pieces, or it might be slightly different. So go ahead. Let's just go then from the top, if there's no one from last week who didn't go, who wants to go. So Marie Elizabeth.
All right. I typed it in here. I help successful professionals who struggle with self-doubt in their personal relationships expand their self-acceptance and confidence so they can have joy and fulfillment in all areas of life.
So, all right, tell me one more time. And if you can actually paste it into the chat, because
I did paste it in the chat. I can do it again.
Okay, great. I see it now.
You found it?
Yeah.
Okay. I help successful professionals who struggle with self-doubt in their personal relationships expand their self-acceptance and confidence so they can have joy and fulfillment in all areas of life.
All right. So I think there's a lot that's good there. And it's a little bit, I think the reason why I needed to hear it twice is there's so many words modifying other words. And
yeah.
From a simplicity standpoint, does anyone else start to glaze over a little bit? Just let's be honest. I see some heads nodding. As well. So I think successful professionals who struggle with self-doubt in their personal relationships, it's already like, right, expand their self-acceptance and confidence so they can have joy and fulfillment in all areas of their life. So there's each X, Y, and Z all have ampersands. So there's like double descriptions to modify each. So if we could almost simplify, they have, successful professionals who struggle with self-doubt in their personal relationships, then self-acceptance and confidence, and then joy and fulfillment. So there's a lot of things modifying things. So I think in terms of getting to simplicity, so I think that it's like, I get successful professionals who struggle with self-doubt in their personal relationships. How is that manifesting exactly? How is it showing up in their lives? Or you help professionals who are so awesome at career and business that who are awesome at career and business but struggle in relationships. And maybe
that's perfect.
It's a little simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I help professionals. I help successful professionals who are awesome at business, career and business, but they really struggle in their relationships.
Yeah.
And I think part of it's the tonality. It's like the reading tonality. And that's one thing for these kinds of calls. When you go into like you're reading it or you're trying to get all the words right, sometimes it ends up being harder to hear the individual words. So when you say expand their self-acceptance and confidence, that feels like something that a successful professional wouldn't think that they need. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
So if you're a successful professional...
Well, it's like a transfer of excellence, right? So they have excellence in this one arena, but they doubt themselves because they suck in the other.
Yeah.
Or maybe not suck, but they're not
So
happy.
I hear you. So maybe it's like that you help successful professionals who, who are so good at career and business, but haven't quite figured out relationship. Maybe it's like leverage they're leveraging their confidence, their gifts, their talents,
strengths.
Yeah. So it's like leveraging their strengths and apply it to relationship. So it's because I see what you say, but it's a transfer, and I know other people who use it.
I basically help them create, stitch together their successful identity with what they feel is less successful about themselves. I help them stitch that together, but that's not language that anybody uses. So like transfer of excellence or leverage their strengths or... and
that's a process orientation that may not actually belong in an XYZ statement.
Okay, got it.
So maybe it's like, okay, you help successful professionals. Maybe it's along the lines of this, where you collapse the X and the Y. So it can be less words. You help successful professionals finally be as good at relationships as they are at career or business.
Oh, I love that.
So they can experience, success and fulfillment in all areas of their life, right?
Yep.
So it's like collapsing the X and the Y, because otherwise you're saying it twice and repeating the words.
Right. Yeah. So great. Yeah, I like that. So I help successful professionals.
Go ahead. Read it again.
So I help successful professionals finally be as good at relationships as they are at business, so they can have joy and fulfillment in all areas of life, or success and fulfillment in all areas of life.
Yeah, or joy,
or success and joy.
Yeah, I think that's so they can finally feel successful and fulfilled in all areas of their life, or something like that. It's good.
Yeah,
I think it's much stronger. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Sure. All right. So next up we have Alicia, and I'm just looking to see. Yep, we have Alicia.
Okay, so my XY statement is, or should I give you my audience statement first? Just kind of overlaps a little bit, but anyway, my audience statement that we came out with last time was...
Yeah, you can, but I'm only going to give feedback on the one.
Okay, XYZ. Okay, I help moms of elementary school kids clear up the confusion and find clarity over the nutrition and lifestyle jungle involving the kids, so that their kids can have the best digestion, sleep, no more tantrums, and best moods.
So I am noticing that many of you are doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, X, Y, basically the full statements. When you start to add things like clear up the confusion and find, it's just, we're adding a lot of process orientation that just makes something more complex than it needs to be. And the more words you try to stuff into one sentence, the more people glaze over because they're trying to follow each word and they lose the train, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
It's like they miss the train because they're watching all the cars go by.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So let's see. Basically, find clarity over the nutrition and lifestyle jungle involving their kids. So the problem is they don't know how to what to do so their kids can be healthy? Is that the problem that they're recognizing? Yeah.
And we're finding out that through the research I have done is that there's no one that teaches the kids.
Yeah. So there's no one that is that what they're saying? The problem is that no one teaches the kids?
No, that's what I'm finding, that where I'm lacking within the market research that I did, that everybody's involving the parents without involving the kids. So we involve the kids. Of course, the parents need to be there.
Okay. So it's like you're really, you help moms and their elementary school children is more like probably one way to reframe the statement. Or maybe it's like elementary school children, I still have to kind of like process that, and it's different language for that in different parts of the world. Mm-hmm. So what is the age range of that?
Age 5 to 12.
Okay. So I help I help moms and kids, I help moms and kids between the ages of, I help moms and kids. That's a hard thing to say,
I help moms and 5 to 12-year-old kids.
What was that?
I help moms and 5 to 12-year-old kids.
Yeah. Okay. I help moms and 5 to 12-year-old kids. One of the things I liked about their elementary age children is that it's not moms and kids as separate things. It's moms and their kids combined. Mm-hmm. Right? And someone's calling them pre-tween. I wouldn't know what that meant, as a non-mom, but I guess some people would. So moms, what would you identify with? You help moms and their elementary school kids, elementary school age kids. And someone says parents, which is a good point. Do you not help the dads too?
Yeah.
Okay. I help parents and their kids. And maybe we don't define the age here. Maybe it's just too much information.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because once they wouldn't think of 15-year-old, well, maybe they would still think of 15-year-old as a kid, but I think I help parents and their kids. And when you say clear up the confusion and find clarity over the nutrition in lifestyle jungle, are you just giving them clarity, or what exactly is the real outcome here?
The real outcome here is educating them of the huge amount of information that's out there and clearing it. Like finding clarity on basically how to feed the kids.
So could we just say something simple like discover exactly what to eat?
Yeah.
Demystify, if you wanted to get a word that's about clearing the confusion.
Okay.
Discover exactly what to eat, though, is simple.
Yeah. For kids, it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but to discover exactly what to eat, is it for their types, or is it the same thing for everybody? Is it custom?
No, everybody's different.
Yeah, so it's discover exactly what to eat for them, right? Yeah. Is that right? But it's not, discover, so what is I think here's the problem too. Why do they need this right now? Is it that they're having behavioral problems?
Yeah.
Is it, okay, so this is getting more clear because there's something missing. Can everyone see that there's something missing here? Like what's the urgency behind why someone would want this right now? Right? Mm-hmm. So, and then, so basically you help, maybe it's like you help parents understand it's like the nutritional aspect of their kids' behavioral challenges, so they can shift the way they eat, right? So it's like you help parents understand the nutritional source or cause, the nutritional cause of their kids' behavioral challenges, and shift the way they eat, so they can finally have the kids, so they can finally have. So it's like their kids can be what? So, I mean, I get the digestion, sleep, tantrums, and all of that. Shift the way they eat. So they can restore, maybe, it's beyond health. It's like their personality and all of that.
Everything, yeah.
So they can get their kids back and have the relationship they've always wanted. Maybe it's like that.
Okay, sounds good.
Because when it comes down to it, that's the simpler language. Okay, so it's you help parents understand the nutritional cause of their kids' behavioral problems and shift the way they eat so they can get their kids back and have the relationship, so they can get their kids back and have the relationship they've wanted.
Or establish well-being.
Yeah. Is it establish well-being so they can get their kids back is enough, right?
But what if they never had them?
Do you think any parent would think that they've never had their kid?
I see a lot of them.
Anyone else think that? Like even when they're a baby?
Some of them are vaccine injured from very young.
But is that the stats that you're dealing with?
No, I see a mixture. But anyway, not to get lost in the weeds, it's just to establish well-being is what I was thinking, because to get back to something is fine, but if a person feels that they never really had it, what are they getting back to?
So are you working with people who've got extremely disabled kids, Alicia?
No, not specifically.
So would these be people who thought that they never had their kids to begin? Their kids have always been absent?
No.
Okay, just in terms of clarifying what the demographic is. I like the idea of well-being, but it's just starting to get a little worried. So they can get their kids back and give them the best chance of success in life or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. Right? Or do you like that, or do you prefer the well-being direction?
No, I like having their kids back. Having a relationship with them, that's something we have found through our EPM program.
Yeah.
The parents are really opening their, one kid said, "Mom, you never play with me." And she was like, "Oh, I didn't know that."
Okay, so it could be get their kids back, rebuild the relationship, and give them the best chance at success in life possible, or something like that. And it kind of covers all the bases as well.
Okay, perfect.
Read this one more time.
You want me to say it again?
Yeah.
Okay. So help parents understand the nutritional costs of their kids' behavioral challenges so they can rebuild their relationship and give the chance at a better future or something like that.
I think we should say and shift the way they eat, because it's not just understanding, it's actually something is happening, and shift the way they eat so they can get their kids back, rebuild the relationship, and give them the best chance at success in life possible.
Okay, perfect.
Cool. All right. Well, this is good. As you can see, like what the hidden, when you really unpack it, sometimes it's deceptive on the surface, but when you really ask the deeper questions, you realize, oh my gosh, I'm making a giant assumption here, right? Okay, so I see, let me just look at everybody who's on the line. There are a couple people here on the line who did not go last time, and I like to prioritize people who didn't. Like I see Patty, I see Kazaa, I see who didn't go. I don't think Kat went last time, or I did a lot of people last time, but those are the ones that I see offhand. But I wanted to give you all a chance first because we won't be able to get to everyone for this one.
I haven't, I put something in here. I help entrepreneurs hit their goals 42% faster by drawing a powerful picture of the future and helping them identify the 3 bold steps to get there.
All right, let's see.
245.
Powerful picture of the future and helping them identify the 3 bold steps to get there.
Yeah. I draw a picture of where they are, where they want to be, and the 3 bold steps to get there.
Yeah. So I like it. I'm just
Yes, I'm ready. Let's say that. I'm ready.
The tricky piece about that is because why would they need you to draw a powerful picture of the future? Because when it sounds like just drawing a picture of the future, I mean, I get it and I know the process, but if I were to hear this for the first time and I didn't know what you did, anyone else feel that way at all? Like, I would just do that on my own on a napkin.
Yeah. Well, and they can do it on their own. So maybe, and I show people how to do it on their own. And my biggest sale was to train people in how to do it on their own, right?
So maybe it's like you teach entrepreneurs how to.
Yeah, very good.
But it's also that you do it in a specific way.
Yep.
too. So, which obviously I don't like to do too much process orientation here.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
so at one point I called it the snapshot of the big picture. So in effect, that's what they get, right? I teach entrepreneurs how to create a snapshot of the big picture of their business or life and accelerate making change or achieving their goals or.
Yeah. How about something like by drawing their future into being? Because it's not, when it's a picture, it's like a static thing, but drawing their future into being feels like it's more of a, like, I wouldn't know how to do that where I could draw a powerful picture.
Yes, that's right.
Does that make sense?
Entrepreneurs how to draw their future into being.
I do like how to hit their goals 42% faster by drawing their future into being and the exact step plus the exact steps to get there. It's also, it's like in some ways it also is short-circuiting or bypassing, I think, their doubts.
Right.
It's like you teach entrepreneurs how to bypass their doubts and hit their goals 42% faster by drawing their future into being. Maybe that's even faster than plus the exact steps to get there. Right? Yes,
it is. Because it's something about seeing the picture. So when you see the picture, it activates something.
Yeah. So maybe it's like, is the biggest thing they would say doubts or fears or uncertainty? Like, what would be the biggest word they would use to describe the thing that's stopping them?
They would describe it as their fear. It's their fear that interferes always.
Okay. So how about then I teach entrepreneurs how to bypass their fears and hit their goals 42% faster by drawing their future into being.
Fantastic.
Because it's a little more intriguing and less like, I don't need you for this. Because I would want to know that. Yes.
Okay. I teach entrepreneurs how to bypass their fears and hit their goals 42% faster by drawing their future into being.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. So next up, in terms of people who have not gone yet, and I just want to make sure, because last time around I did almost everybody, but Kazaa, did you want to go at all? I know you might be out and about at some point in time. And I'm just looking to see if there's anybody else. Monica didn't go last time. Neither did Monet. No, Monet went last time. Marvin did not. No, you went last time. Sorry. There's a lot of names here. And Kat did not go last time either. So Kat, if you want to go, and John did not go either. So Kat, John, and Jennifer, and Kazaa, do any of you, and Isabel as well, do any of you want to go?
I could go.
Okay, great.
I have mine up here. Do you see it?
Let me look.
At 1:32, I posted it.
Okay, thank you. All righty, it's going backwards and forwards, so sometimes it's tricky.
Sure.
Yes.
So mine is, I teach professional coaches how to align their soul's purpose with practical business strategy so that they stop worrying about getting clients and they begin enjoying a fulfilling, prosperous career.
Okay, so how to align their soul's purpose with practical business strategy. So they can stop worrying about getting clients. I think the last part, and begin enjoying a fulfilling, prosperous career, is a little bit wordy because there's a lot of words earlier.
Yeah.
Right. So they can stop worrying about getting clients and start enjoying what they do. Could it be simpler like that?
I like that.
Is it just
yeah.
Just in terms of start enjoying what they do. One thing we want to do is we want to make this language that sounds like a normal person would speak it, right? Because we wouldn't usually say enjoying a fulfilling, prosperous career. It's like something you would write, but as the XYZ statement is something that's spoken, you want it to feel like it's natural. And if you have to go and like take out a piece of paper to remember what you wrote, it's probably too long and too not organic and natural. Does that make sense?
I like it.
But let me see if there's any.
Yeah, is there anything else? So it start enjoying anything about the money piece?
So they can stop worrying about getting. So is it getting clients or is it money that they're worrying about? It is probably getting clients is what they would probably
Well,
say.
that's the language. I did this survey and that's the language that they use. I think it is about money, but the language they use is about getting clients. So that's why I put that in there.
Yeah. Okay. So in the one thing, like it's a little bit, I would, under normal situations, advise against the first part, but I think because of who you are, it genuinely is what you do. Like it's a process orientation, but I think it's a descriptor that if you didn't say it, you wouldn't be getting the right people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when she says, I teach professional coaches how to align their soul's purpose with practical, do we like teach or maybe show as well?
I like that. Yeah.
I think show is a little better because it feels like a more casual relationship, even though they're going to pay you for it. I show professional coaches how to align their soul's purpose with practical business strategy. Is it a practical, should we say proven?
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, let's say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
With proven business strategy so they can stop worrying about getting clients and start enjoying what they do.
I like it. It's nice. It's simple. It sounds more like me. Too.
Yeah. You want it to sound more like you having a conversation with someone normally versus being the expert or whatever it happens to be.
Right.
And Kat, this is the first time I have understood what you do.
Yay! Woo!
Great.
That's the goal, Gretchen. Thank you. Thanks, Marissa. That's great.
Yeah. Okay. So who is next? I did say a few people who had not gone yet last week. I want to prioritize you. So if there's anybody else who has not gone last week who wants to go, speak up now, because otherwise I'll start going in order. Okay, so back to just the order. I'm sorry, I have to scroll up and figure it out. And Alicia, if you can throw in your final version, that would be great. Okay, is this Abby? Are you next? Sorry. I think I see Abby is the next one.
Great. I don't think I went last time, but I can't remember. So
you did.
So maybe it's good. I did? Okay, great.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, I think I have too many words. So I help purpose-driven entrepreneurs to break through their income. I should read it from here. Sorry. I help purpose-driven entrepreneurs. Well, what I really wrote was I turn purpose-driven entrepreneurs into world-transforming warriors. I help them to shift the ways that their bodies and minds betray their businesses and limit their impact and income so that they can become unstoppable, make more money, and have a positive, undeniable influence on the world.
So it feels a little bit like you're answering the question, how do you do that? So if you had a really snappy XYZ statement and then someone asks, well, how do you do that? Well, I do it by, it's like the longer description after they're already interested. Does that make sense?
Yes, totally. I feel like it's bulky.
Yeah.
Right now.
So you help them to shift the ways that their bodies and minds betray their business and limit their impact in income so they can become unstoppable, make more money, and have a positive, undeniable influence on the world. Is that correct?
Correct.
So, yeah, let's see. Okay. All right. So how would they self-diagnose? Would they self-diagnose as a purpose-driven entrepreneur?
I think so. They might say visionary entrepreneurs, but I'm not sure that all of them would say that. I think most of them would relate to having a purpose, though.
So okay, I help purpose-driven entrepreneurs shift the way their bodies and minds betray their business. So what would that look like for someone? Because Exactly.
Okay, so I was on a call, I was having a conversation with a prospect today, and she basically said that she's tried, all working on her mindset for years, Abraham Hicks stuff. She meditates every day. She hasn't been able to shift any of this. And so I said that's because it's not here. It's in your body. It's in your nervous system, and it's coming from, part of this is soul level stuff, but I'm not speaking to the soul level piece here.
Okay, so it's maybe you help purpose-driven entrepreneurs maybe who recognize their mind. Do they recognize their body and their mind, or what do they recognize?
Not necessarily. Recognize that they have some kind of block that stops them from reaching more people, getting more sales, making more money, and getting their vision into the world.
Mm-hmm. Well, it seems like every person on the planet. Well, I mean, you're obviously rocking it on the financial standpoint, so people are responding, but I don't know if they're responding to a particular offer or what.
So, yeah, so what I am, I'm a I work on money karma. So I don't know if you remember that, but my whole thing is clear your money karma.
Okay.
And so it's really about, it's not, the problems that I identify and clear for people are not head things. When I clear the body, the mind automatically clears, and up to 80% of this is in the body.
Well, why don't we just say that? I help purpose-driven entrepreneurs clear their money karma so they stop struggling with money and start enjoying it.
That's great. Thank you.
Okay.
It's so simple. I don't know why. I like to complicate things.
Oh, we all do. It's the human condition. All right. That's much, much simpler, isn't it? Raise your hand if you understand what she's saying now, but you didn't understand it before. Okay. Great. All right. Fantastic. So next up, and it looks like Norma is next. And if I overlook you, just let me know. I'm just trying to read and be present at the same time. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I think I was writing two at the same time, and I think I'm going to go with the first one for
Great.
the
Could you do me a favor? Copy and paste it in too?
I do. I have it in there, but I'll do it again real quick.
I see just the place where you said, can I get feed?
Oh, okay. It's there. I mentor female real estate agents who want to create a thriving business that generates 6 figures comfortably without sacrificing their family or lifestyle or feel like they're on call 24/7.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty solid. I think she's a year 2.
I have been doing this XYZ for 3 years.
Well, Kat was a year 2 as well, so we only did minor adjustments to hers. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. The other one just talked about money, but it's more than money. It's more the stress of, feeling like you're always on call. And when people say, what do you do? And I say, I sell real estate, and go, oh my God, you must be on the phone 24/7. Do you have a life? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I think I like the first one better because it's leading with a specific outcome when it's just versus like all the challenges that they're having. Does that make sense?
Yep. I love it. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I'm feeling much better.
Yeah, no, I think that's really, really solid. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. I'm going to go back up and see where I was. So it's hard when I scroll down and then try to scroll back up to where we were it just takes me a second. So excuse me. Alrighty. I think Monica said that she was ready and she did not go last time around. So Monica? Did you want to go, Monica? Hi.
Yes.
Okay. I'm looking for it.
So I help creative and committed entrepreneurs that feel their business has gotten out of their control, regain control, and achieve their vision in a simpler and more profitable way.
All right. I can't see this anywhere. Is there any way you could copy and paste it?
Yes.
I'm just very visual.
Yeah. I put it in there, but I'll put it again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's up there a bit. Mm-hmm. Right,
did you find it?
I did.
Sorry, I'm writing it down.
It doesn't hurt to put it in again for everyone else because scrolling around looking can be tricky. So I help committed entrepreneurs that feel their business has gotten out of their control, regain it and achieve their vision in a profitable and simple way. So the problem of just regaining control, is that specific enough? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Like who, because we have a lot of entrepreneurs on the line, who identifies with just that, you know, that your business is out of control, like that's the main problem that you would go to someone to solve. So we see one. Mm-hmm. So I understand that, you know, that because you're a systems person, but this notion of their business being completely out of control, regain control, I don't know if it's specific enough that I can't clearly see the outcome. Can anyone clearly see the outcome of what that would look like? Because it doesn't have an application or a scenario in which it's happening. Mm-hmm. So it's what happens is it's like collapsing of domains where obviously things aren't usually out of control in every area. They might be out of control in particular areas. Patty's writing it in some context, which is absolutely true.
It's overwhelming over so many things to do, mainly. So what happens many times with my clients is that they start their businesses and they have so many things to do and they're overwhelmed and out of control. You know, they don't have the path or...
So yeah, Tiffany's writing out of control in finance, overwhelmed because of lack of support. I know you've got a multi-point solution, like a 10-point solution that helps in all areas. So it's tricky. It's tricky. Like if you were to lead with a particular area, like the profit, for example, or the finance area.
Yeah, finance is the strongest.
I think that if you could lead with finances here as just the gateway drug into, you know, total business control, that might be helpful. So if you were to say, you know, who feels like you help committed entrepreneurs who feel like their business finances are out of control. They don't know their numbers. They're not, you know, they don't know their numbers. Seems like more money is going out than's coming in. You know, it's something along the lines of like that might be a good place to start. Mm-hmm. Right? Because I would understand that, and actually it's something that I've struggled with. But I wouldn't associate
So what would be like the general struggle in that regard? I mean, you said you struggle with that. What would that be?
What exactly what I just said, which is who feel like their business finances are out of control. They don't know their numbers. They don't know how much money they're actually making. You know, it seems like more money is going out than's coming in. You know, they're constantly experiencing cash flow crunches. Basically, that might be all of the combined struggles, and you could take a few of those words and choose a clear direction. So, like, what do you think are the biggest problems? Like, not knowing their numbers, I think people...
Correct.
Yes,
that's the main thing. They don't know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and I think people recognize with not knowing their numbers, committed entrepreneurs who feel like their business finances have gotten have spun out of control. You know, or you could just say who don't know their business numbers, right?
Yeah.
I help committed entrepreneurs who who realize how dangerous it is to who don't know their numbers maybe, or who realize how dangerous it is to not know their numbers. For example, that might be more specific, but what do you help them do exactly?
Get to understand them and be able to make correct decisions.
So yeah, maybe it's more about the solution or the outcome, because I think than the problem. So maybe you help committed entrepreneurs understand their numbers and make smart business decisions that lead to more money in the bank at the end of each month, that lead to less stress and more money in the bank at the end of each month. Like, and
okay.
To
yeah, because at the end, all those different solutions end up in the final result, which is money.
Yeah.
So everything contributes to that, and all of the other solutions are actually focused on how this area is going to give you more money.
And
right?
maybe it's not just understand their numbers, but know their numbers, or maybe know Yeah, I help committed entrepreneurs know their numbers and make smart financial decisions that lead to less stress and more money in the bank at the end of each month. It's a lot more specific. Can you see that?
That lead to less stress, which is very important.
Yeah.
More.
Great. So, and I love, Natasha says, I often feel that I need better systems, but don't know where to start. It is in all areas, but I want to solve each area at a time, you know, or if you have a plan that will help me identify the areas as a whole, you know, so if you wanted to do something that was more of a focus on systems, you know, I help committed entrepreneurs put systems in place in the 5 key areas of their business: finance, blank, 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 so they can stop feeling out of control. So they can finally feel like they're in control in their business or something. Like you could do something like that too, but it's still specific. Does that make sense? So which one works better for you?
I like both, but I think more people would be identified with the numbers, because everybody has numbers. And as we have seen in the past, systems is not a sexy word. Profit is. So I think maybe that would be it. And again, it is the final result. It is the end result, the profit and the less stress. So
absolutely. All right, great.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. And let me see who is next. Trying to scroll up. Okay, looks like Rosanna is next. You still there, Rosanna?
I am.
Great.
Can you see me?
I can, yeah.
Okay, good. What do you think?
Do you want to read it?
Yes. Do you want me to copy and paste it, or you have it?
I have it. I have it.
I help people who've just been diagnosed with cancer connect the dots to the emotional core of their illness so they can release the stress and physical symptoms and become proactive in their own recovery.
So let's see. You know, that I help people who've just been diagnosed with cancer is super clear. The connect the dots to the emotional core of their illness is
sketchy.
Yeah, maybe it's just understand. Is it understand the emotional core or the emotional roots of their illness or cause? Understand, obviously it's not 100% cause. Yes. So understand the emotional core of their illness.
Understand. You know, it's per the ACE study. Have you heard of the Adverse Childhood Experience Study?
No.
It's a big medical study that's been done like over 30 years. Kaiser Permanente and the Center for Disease Control put together data based on all these medical doctor visits, and they have proven that if you have had adverse child experiences, and they have this whole what do you call it, survey. It's a big survey, and if you have more than one of those adverse childhood experiences, you're more than likely to have a serious disease when you get older. You know, it makes your chances really high. So I'm a medical, emotional intuitive, so I can help people find the core of their issues. I just don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe so they can heal on a date. So instead of that, release the stress and physical symptoms and become proactive. It's just like a lot of stuff. Maybe it's simpler. Like, I help people who've just been diagnosed with cancer understand the emotional core of their illness, so they can heal on a deeper level than medicine. You know, the heal on a deeper level than chemo or pills or that medicine, than Western medicine.
Yeah.
Or than purely medical solutions, maybe.
Right. Yes.
Or purely physical solutions, you could say too, because what you're doing. Do you like purely physical solutions or purely medical solutions?
Purely medical solutions, because it seems like that's all people feel like they have at this point.
Yeah. So how about that? I help people who've just been diagnosed with cancer understand the emotional core of their illness, so they can heal on a deeper level than purely medical solutions allow.
Love it.
Just simpler, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sure. Well, hopefully that I'm not going to be able to get to everyone here, but hopefully you're all starting to see kind of what are we doing and where there's definitely patterns in terms of how we stuff words in and kind of make assumptions or make things too complicated or not organic sounding. That's going to be helpful to everyone. So it looks like Natalie is next.
I guess my brain is, can you even hear me?
I can hear you. I can't hear your brain, but I can hear you.
Okay, I'm plugged in. All right. So what did I say?
You were asked which of the two do you like better?
Right.
You want to read those two?
I need to find them.
I'll read it real quickly.
Thank you.
I help women coaches, counselors, and healers finally earn a stable, reliable income so they can change lives in a big way. Theirs too. I'd probably say including theirs. I help women coaches, counselors, and healers finally earn a stable, reliable income so they can make the difference they're here to make without burning out. Which does everyone prefer? Vote one for or two? Just do one or two in the chat, please.
You know, after listening to everybody's, after I wrote these, I just think it's so boring. I'm like over it. Can't I think of anything more interesting to say?
Well, I can't help you from scratch. I can only help you work with whatever we've started with in terms of that's my one rule for these calls. So what, I mean, like I think that it's in some ways though, finally earn a stable, reliable income. I mean, if I was in that situation, I'd probably be interested in it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the thing is sometimes it's better to be boring and clear at the beginning than to be creative and like people have no idea what you're talking about.
Got it.
So I help women coaches, counselors, and healers finally earn a stable, reliable income so they can make the difference they're here to make without burning out. I mean, I think if someone's in that situation, they would resonate with that.
Yeah.
And the truth is, it's not about you, it's about them. And the question is whether they relate to this. And so far, you've got a lot more votes for the second version.
Okay. Do you like it?
I think it's solid.
Okay.
I think that someone in that situation would resonate. Does anyone feel differently or? I think it's solid. And I think when you have something solid, you can come back and make it really exciting later. But I think just go out with this, and you've got other things to do.
Okay. Thanks.
Sure. So Tiffany is next here by the looks of it. And then Clancy.
Very cool. Thank you. So somewhat similar to Rosanna, in my one-on-one practice, Heal and Thrive, I help people in a healing crisis or chronic illness get to the root causes.
Can you, the one that I have is different than this, so can you
bless you,
pen and paste the other, thank you, the other one in?
Oh, okay, is it the one related to the BioWell?
Yeah.
Okay, so, there was another one above it. It's fine. Let's go with the BioWell. It's in front of you.
If you
nope, it's okay. So the question feedback is for BioWell medical device. I help energy medicine practitioners add science, measurement, and revenue to their businesses.
I think that's pretty clear.
Cool.
What was the other one that you were doing? I'm having trouble finding it. There's just like
it said timestamp, because you and I are on the same time zone, 1:38.
1:38.
Oh, sorry. No, 1:30. What is it? 1:37. My bad.
Okay, go ahead.
So for my one-on-one practice, I help people in a healing crisis or chronic illness, not sure which one to use there, get to root causes so they can be vitally healthy.
Okay. Get to root cause so that they can be vitally healthy. Is it just that they get to the root cause? Something's
well,
missing.
That's usually what is the turning point. That's usually the transformation that needs to take place, is they get to, what essentially the blessing and the curse, so to speak.
But it's just like getting to it, or you have to, what else is happening? Is it, if I just understand the root cause is I was, something terrible happened to me when I was 3, and that doesn't help me. You know what I mean? But
so transforming it.
Okay, sweet. So then maybe that's it. I help people transform the root cause of chronic illness, the root cause of chronic or acute illness, because and maybe it's gonna, I would probably recommend you do something closer to what Rosanna did, so they can heal on a deeper level than purely medical solutions allow. Because I think that otherwise it may not sound noteworthy. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Root cause? Because doctors may say root cause as well.
Yeah. Okay. I'll play with that.
What's going on for you?
Well, I was just thinking of body, mind, spirit, or emotional, psychospiritual, emotional, but then it felt like maybe I was trying to include the kitchen sink. And if that got too wordy.
But I think that if you said if you get to the more of the like emotional and is it emotional or also what other the mental and emotional?
Well, it's actually, it really is both, because by the time something has happened physically, it's already been through a whole terrain of the field, so to speak, of the body. So you're dealing with the mind, you're dealing with emotions, and then the physical. So all of it is really included.
Okay, so because I think that if you just say root cause, I can't understand the differentiator.
Okay.
So should it be like you help people transform, is it the root physical, mental, and emotional causes?
Yes.
The root physical, mental and emotional causes of chronic and acute illness, of illness, basically.
Yeah.
And maybe instead of chronic and acute, I would just say of illness.
Okay.
And maybe you just say the same, so they can heal on a deeper level than purely medical solutions allow.
Okay.
I just you don't have to be original here. It's like,
right.
That's clear. But I think I help people transform the root physical, mental, and emotional causes of illness so they can heal on a deeper level than purely medical solutions allow.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure. I think that's clearer. So there's sometimes when more information does help, but usually it's less is more. Okay, so Clancy is next there.
Hey, Marisa.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Elizabeth. I think you might have skipped over me.
Okay. Where are you? Okay, there it is. Yeah.
And perhaps me. I'm not sure.
Okay, so Elizabeth, go ahead.
So I just typed it again because it was too long the first time. So I've got two options. I help high achieving women break free from the downward spiral of burnout so they are valued as leaders and can prioritize their own well-being and protect the relationships that matter most to them. Or, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Or I help high achieving women experiencing burnout redesign their work and regain control over their schedules so they are valued as leaders, etc.
You know, I don't see the immediate like reason why they're valued as leaders is relevant here. And so we're going into valued as leaders, which is the outside esteem, and then protecting relationships, which is love and relationships. And then there's the prioritize the well-being. It feels, I don't know, it just feels like a lot. So maybe it's like I help high achieving women experiencing burnout redesign their work and regain control over their schedules. So they can maybe just simply so they can what you say, prioritize their own well-being, but
so oftentimes they feel undervalued, underrecognized at work.
Yeah, but is that the reason they're coming to you, or they're coming to you because of burnout?
Well, that's part of burnout.
But then you're telling them what's contributing to their burnout maybe before they recognize it in the first time you're saying hello. Hey, did you realize the reason you're feeling so shitty is because you don't feel valued? You know, it's like it's too much, right? When you're just saying hello to someone.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
I think I help high achieving women experiencing burnout redesign their work and regain control over their schedules. So they can have a long, healthy, and sustainable career, a long, healthy, and fulfilling career.
Okay.
Maybe because sustainable is the same as long. So yeah, so they can have a long, healthy, and fulfilling career. Does that make sense?
It does.
And I think just in cases like this, it's like it's just the tendency sometimes to go to the like right to the deeper level, and sometimes the deeper level we were talking about with the two medical solutions, going to the root cause, so it goes beyond purely medical solutions. But here I don't know if everybody is recognizing the reasons, and so yeah, it's tricky. Did I Gretchen, were you saying that I missed you too? I thought someone...
No, actually, I just realized I was after Elizabeth.
Okay, let me see. Elizabeth, then Gretchen. Okay, so where did I get to Clancy? Did I just skip a bunch of people by accident? Yes. Okay, so go ahead, Gretchen. These are really long statements, so going back and forth.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what I've got. I help organizational leaders to develop and unleash change management superheroes in their workforce so they create a change-enabled organization, save a ton of money, and reduce their dependency on external consultants.
All right. It is a bit of a mouthful.
I know.
It does say it, I think, and if we can try to cut some words, that would be healthy. And so what I see, because I messed up here, is I am going to do, I will do, after you, I'm going to do Davin, and I'm going to do Clancy, just because I don't want this to feel like unfair that I skipped a few people. Okay, so I'm going to do Davin and Clancy, even if it goes over, and then let me work on you. And I don't think anybody else was in that skipped group. Is that correct?
I think you're right.
All right, good. All right. And then I've told Clancy I would do her, so I don't want her to feel like, wait, I was just about to go. Okay. All right, so let me just see. I help organizational leaders to develop and unleash change management superheroes in their workforce. So maybe develop and unleash. I think we can take the and unleash, right?
Okay.
Just simplify to develop change management. Okay, organizational leaders. I see why you don't want leaders again there.
Yeah.
So an organizational leader would be who exactly?
An organizational leader would be anyone with a budget for consultants. It could be the head of HR, head of supply chain, head of finance, whereas a company leader would be the CEO.
Could we say talent, to develop change management talent in their workforce?
Yeah.
I don't want to repeat the word leader, and I don't know if there's another word to say for organizational leaders. Okay. So I help organizational leaders to develop change management talent in their workforce. So they create a change-enabled organization, save a ton of money. So they can, could we say, so they can change from within and reduce their dependency on outside consultants who don't really get them.
Yeah.
And reduce their dependency on expensive, you could say. their
oh, good. Yeah.
Dependency on expensive external consultants who don't really get them.
Oh, love that.
All right, let me read it one more time. So I help organizational leaders to develop change management talent in their workforce so they can so they can change from within and reduce their dependency on expensive external consultants who don't really get them.
Mwah.
Is there, the only thing I would say is you use the word, instead of dependency, reduce their dependence instead of dependency.
Dependence, yeah. Okay.
So is it change from within, grow from within, evolve from within?
Well, change management is a particular skill that they hire because there's all these projects going on inside every division, every organization. And it's actually a methodology to help the people impacted by the change move from current state to future state.
Yeah.
So it actually is a capability. And it's not necessarily just leaders with that capability. A lot of times a leader will designate, you know, like you would say, hey, Gretchen, I want you to come in and do this activity with my team, and I'm just going to be the sponsor of it.
Okay, so one shorter version of that could be, I help organizational leaders develop internal change management capability and reduce their dependence on expensive external consultants who don't really get them. That's
okay.
Even simpler.
Yep.
Less words.
Yep.
There you go. I put them both in. All right,
awesome.
So Davin, you are up, man.
All right. Well, so I loaded a new one towards the bottom, time-stamped 0230.
Got it.
So here it is. I help determined in-house communicators reduce professional struggle and create new career strength. I do this by helping them strengthen their planning muscles and their relationships with their leaders and clients so that they can become the trusted strategist and business problem solver for the organizations they serve.
Mm-hmm. So I think that I help determined in-house communicators reduce professional struggle and create new career strength. It feels like the problem outcome is a little vague, right? So is there a more specific, tangible, like an outcome that you could actually see, you know what I mean, that's more measurable? For example, I help in-house communicators, communication professionals. I would probably maybe drop the word determined there just because if it doesn't sound like casual communication. So I help in-house professional communicators. What exactly do you do there?
Well, what I help them, I train them on their planning skills and their ability to have impact in the organizations they serve. And a lot of communicators have stopped planning and just are doing the work instead.
Okay, so the measurable impact, it relates to, so these are communication campaigns?
These are, well, but that's the what. The planning skills is how they plan their work and demonstrate their value.
We can say something like, I help in-house professional communicators plan and implement campaigns with measurable impact.
it's not so much that I'm helping them do that work, because that's what they do once they have the skills. Do you see what I'm saying?
So you develop. Okay, you help in-house professional communicators develop planning and what skills? Develop, is it project management skills?
It's probably more client management skills versus project management skills. It's
client management, and what other skills are you helping them develop?
Planning. It's planning and client management skills.
Develop the essential the planning and client management skills that are essential to their success. I help maybe in-house professional communicators develop the planning and client management skills that aren't commonly taught, skills that aren't commonly taught in school, but are essential to their success. Yeah, it's true that those are not the skills that they're being taught, right?
Well, they're not taught it at all, and if they're lucky, they learn it from their first few bosses. Yeah. But if they're unlucky, and more often than not, they're unlucky. It takes them a while to learn that. And are most of these like educated communication? Would it be like, if I were to say I help in-house professional communicators develop the planning and client management skills that aren't commonly taught, but are essential to their success. Maybe just aren't commonly taught. That's perfect. Are they difficult to learn or not really? No. Okay. All right. Yeah, no, that's good. Great. Okay, so we've got Clancy now.
Hi, thank you.
Sure.
Thanks, Marissa.
No worries. And by the way, I know I was saying that we are doing a little micro offer on doing a very short under $50 training on crafting an XYZ statement that will also involve like a coaching call with someone on it. And it's going to be for cold traffic from Facebook. So if any of you had a really big breakthrough on this call and want to share it, I just need examples or stories of someone who had a terrible one or struggled and then it went really good, and you're open with me sharing it because it could be a lot of people seeing it. But especially if you feel like it's a really good story and it's a dramatic transformation. Okay, so Clancy, go ahead.
Yeah, so, all right. I help organizational leaders fuel a new approach to health and wellness through hunger awareness. My clients establish new partnerships, increase food access, and improve health outcomes.
Okay, so fuel a new approach to health and wellness. So the problem is they, because the problem that you solve, it's like you're almost bypassing the recognition of the problem and assuming the solution already. Does that make sense? It's like, because I think the first step from what you've said previously is that understanding the role that hunger plays. So you help what kind of organizational leaders too?
So it could be anyone from a nonprofit. And the other thing is, like, I'm trying to figure out, is this from my event planners, which I do this too from the stage, or people I consult with? So I have 2 clients, but organizational leaders could be like the National WIC organization. It could be a physician's office or, a health plan. It could be government agencies, a corporate organization. So it could be really anything. I'm trying to come up with a broad term, but then I'm afraid it's too broad.
Yeah. So who are like the 2 or 3 biggest demographics that, you're supporting?
I would definitely say nonprofits right now.
Okay. Is it nonprofit and government leaders or just nonprofit?
I would say more not just nonprofits. Okay. Yes.
All right. So I help nonprofit leaders understand the role hunger plays in health and wellness. And is it all kind of health and wellness, or is it like this social, like it's health and wellness and then what? So they can what?
Yeah. Well, everyone wants to improve health outcomes, whether they're fighting obesity, chronic disease, and there's a misconception. And can someone really be overweight and malnourished due to food insecurity in the first place? So, yeah.
So they can improve their, is it their client outcomes, or is it with their constituent outcomes, their stakeholder outcomes?
It's both, because it's patients, it could be, it depends. Everyone has a different name too. It could be a client, a patient, a customer, a participant. They all have different names. And it also, you have outcomes of that patient, but also with their partnerships, their key stakeholders become more aware, so they could increase funding as well.
Okay.
There's a lot going on.
I understand. You got a doozy of a one. We got it though. How about something like, I help nonprofit leaders understand the role hunger plays in health and wellness so they can improve their client, patient, and participant outcomes.
Oh, I like that.
Because I do think you might need to list a few in this case.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I like that. And I don't know if I don't know if I need to address the fact that most of my people really don't even know that hunger exists, and it's literally light bulbs go off and then they want to do something.
Yeah.
But I don't think I can even say that because they're so blind before they meet me. Like they wouldn't even.
Yeah. So let me just see. Let's see. I help nonprofit leaders understand the role hunger plays in health and wellness so they can improve their client patient. If you didn't know that hunger and food instability existed, just everyone out there, would this statement resonate with you? Because I mean, I think that in some ways, it's just posing this question. We could say something like the hidden role hunger plays. Maybe it's something like it needs to be stronger. Like I help nonprofit leaders understand the hidden role that hunger plays in health and wellness. What? In health and wellness.
Are you definitely outcomes? I mean, even if say they're working, let's just say you're someone counseling someone on diabetes and you tell them to go eat broccoli. If they can't afford the broccoli, they're not going to follow their nutrition guidelines or their nutrition prescription.
Maybe it's like hunger and poverty then, right?
But hunger in the United States is more the working class. It's more everyone, it's retail. It's not, I'm trying to get away from poverty because everyone thinks hunger is just poverty and it's not.
The problem is that, that hunger and access to, and food access and food, like you called it food instability, I used to hear food deserts.
Mm-hmm. That's a big issue.
Maybe it's food access, because some people might think, no, they can't be hungry. I hear you, so I'm trying to address this. I help nonprofit leaders understand the hidden role that hunger and food access plays in health and wellness challenges, so they can improve in, is it like a certain percentage of health and wellness challenges that you could identify?
There's 51 health risks hunger plays a role in. So there's a ton. Like it impacts everything. The stress, sleep, everything of a person. If someone's not eating, they can't survive. It's the basis of our foundation.
No, so there's not a percentage of health and wellness challenges that overall, not in terms of like the different types of diagnoses, but more like the percentage of people impacted. Is there?
There is, but it's underestimated. So 1 in 5 families in 2017 didn't have access to nourishing food or enough nourishing food for an active lifestyle, healthy active lifestyle.
Okay. I understand that hidden, so maybe should we say, because if there's an awareness issue, I help nonprofit leaders understand the hidden role that hunger and food access plays in over 20% of health and wellness challenges in the United States, so they can improve their client, patient, and participant outcomes.
Yeah, and I can probably get a better statistic on that too.
And then that's like, that's a statement that is, speaking the actual, it's educating as it says. So they're like, if they don't believe it, or you can make it a little more generic that plays in here. Let me just say this. The more generic version is, I help nonprofit leaders understand the hidden role that hunger and food access plays in health and wellness challenges so they can improve their client, patient, and participant outcomes. So there's another version that doesn't get as specific, and maybe you try them both. So you can see, do they need the more specific number because they're not really getting it? And this may be one that you need to just hit the nail on the hammer a little bit because of the lack of awareness.
Yeah, it's hard. I feel like I can't get this right. I've been hitting the nail hard for a long time and getting the words right. But yeah, thank you.
I think we've got some.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I think we've got some pretty solid ones.
I appreciate your help.
I think both of these are pretty solid. What about you?
I do. And I think the one, if the 20%, there's actually a better statistic. 60% of people with chronic illness make the decision between food and medicine. 60% of people with chronic illness. So that's a higher percentage that I can throw in there. That's
you could say over 20%, and I think it still would be significant, you know? With stuff like this, sometimes it's better to play it a little conservatively.
Okay.
Or you could say in 20 to 60% of health challenges if you want to give a range. That's another opportunity there.
Okay. I appreciate your help.
Sure. I think that, you know, that these are all solid, and you just need to test them and see which one people respond to the best.
Okay.
Because in this case, it's like, how much information do they need to believe you, basically? Does that make sense?
Most of the time, they have to realize their own struggle with food insecurity before they believe me, which is crazy. But yeah,
I think then maybe it's the more information one, and maybe it is, I help nonprofit leaders understand the hidden role that hunger and food access plays in 20 to 60% of health and wellness challenges in the United States, in the US, so they can improve their client, patient, and participant outcomes. So then I think you've at least gotten their attention here.
I agree. Thank you.
I would probably say in the US instead of in the United States.
Okay.
Just to make it sound a little more casual. And this is just a case where you have to educate through your statement, so you need more words.
Okay.
Which is sometimes the case.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. All right. Well, we got a lot of these done, and hopefully that was helpful. Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you all, and I will see you on the next one and next week as well in person.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, hopefully the side door coaching is powerful as well.
Yes. Appreciate the group.
Yeah,
great coaching, Marisa. Nice job.
Thanks,
Thank
Marisa.
you.
All right.
Marisa.
Sure. Goodbye.